easy, okay?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Cubs on Tap. I'm Joey Ricotta, joined by Rich at Rich_EBS. I'm at Joey Knows Nothing. You can follow the show at Cubbies on Tap, CUBBIES on Tap. What a day. What a series. 2 out of 3 the Cubs take over the Washington Nationals in Washington. We're going to talk all about it. Rich, before we do, how the heck are you doing, my friend?
Feeling good. I mean, this Cubs team just keeps on rolling. Feels like nothing can stop them, man. They just keep on going. Responded well after getting shut out yesterday in the frustrating 2-0 loss, but like we've seen them do time and time again this season, they just kind of shook it off. And then they were in the driver's seat all day today. Scored another 7 runs. Just kind of in control of the game from the beginning, and it was just a good feeling game. They needed a solid win like that to get some momentum going into this. They have a tough little stretch here against Detroit and Philly, but they got it done, and yeah, they broke out the bats, hit a couple dingers, scored a nice bundle of runs, and 7 consecutive series wins. That is something, man. They're on some stretch right now. It's awesome.
Big time. 7 straight series wins, no matter how you say that. Sounds absolutely awesome. They haven't lost a series, Rich, since May 9th through the 11th, the one in New York against the Mets. And they've only lost, if I was counting correctly, so I didn't go off of some other stat that somebody put out there, but if I'm counting right, looking at the schedule, they've only lost 5 series all season long, and that's counting the Dodgers one in Tokyo, which to me was just a fake series anyway. So to only lose basically 4 series all year since then,
it's where you want to be. That's some good stuff right there.
That's some good stuff. Like, this team is, like you said, keeping it going, keep on trucking, baby. This offense is like, there's something to it. Like this, we started off with the bang, 2 outs, first inning. PCA just launches one deep center field, over 400 feet on a hanger off of Jake Irvin. Get the party started right, 2-0 Cubs. They started this game with Drew Pomeranz with the opener, and that turned out to work out really well. I think, Colin Ray really dug in there and threw some quality innings. He wasn't fantastic by any means.
Cubs defense bailed him out a lot, but still looked a lot better than he did in his last 2 starts against Cincinnati, where he gave up 6 earned runs in both of those games. But yeah, the opener experiment is continuing to work out very well. The Drew Pomeranz experience, just in general, has been amazing. Still a 0 ERA on the season.
This guy, man,
it just came out of nowhere and is firing away, man. 14.2 innings pitched, 0 ERA.
The unsung heroes of the bullpen over the last couple of years, from Jorge Lopez to Tyson Miller to Nate Pearson, and towards the end of last year to this year, you got Drew Pomeranz and Daniel Palencia. Like, what are we doing? Brad Keller, like they always just seem to pull these guys out of the rough, out of the mud.
Yeah.
And like, dude, like you said, Pomeranz is, I don't know what else you could say. He hasn't allowed
Dude,
anything.
they're so good at doing that that they have like an embarrassment of riches at this point in the bullpen, to the point where they DFA'd Tyson Miller today just because there was no room for him. It sucked to see that because he was,
Yeah.
like you said, one of those dudes last year. He had like a sub 2.5 ERA in 50 appearances, I think, and was ready to come back from his hip injury, and there's just no room for him. Like, who do you get rid of in this bullpen? You just signed Cabrera to a major league deal. Nobody else has minor league options, I don't think.
No. And he's been pretty good too, Cabrera.
Yeah, I mean, there's just not room for him, and it sucked, but it is what it is, and he's probably going to go get claimed by somebody else and have an opportunity somewhere. But yeah, bullpen is that good right now.
I love it, man. And Stolet Breezing has a good point here. Are we sure Caleb Williams is the best Caleb in Chicago? Because Caleb Thielbar, the escape artist, and I had my doubts about Caleb Thielbar. Like, Cubs brought him in this offseason, and I did not think that Caleb Thielbar would have a 1.99.
Oh my God. His ERA snuck below 2 today. That's crazy.
What?
Like,
God. I'm sorry. I did not have the faith in Caleb Thielbar, like what he's shown us. So that has just been incredible. Daniel Barry, Sports Highlights here. Yo, what up, man? Thank you for joining us. But yeah, no, Rich, I mean, that's, I didn't know if we were going to start with the bullpen tonight, but the bullpen has been absolutely nailed since the beginning of May, leading baseball in ERA for the month of May, and till now, really till June, as I kind of filtered the fan graphs through. That is impressive. That's without Porter Hodge being healthy, and really wasn't even that great in parts this season. Ryan Presley struggling, losing his job as the closer. Julian Merriweather getting DFA'd after he struggled. Nate Pearson struggling, getting sent down. If you would have told me all those guys right there on that list that we were kind of depending on or looking at as potential guys that can pitch in high leverage situations, wouldn't be doing anything for them really at this point. And Presley's been a lot better lately outside of tonight. He had to give up that one run, like we said off air, just to make the Nats feel good about themselves. But if you would have told me that, Rich, I would not have expected that the Cubs would be where they are right now and 7 straight series wins by July 5th at this point.
It's remarkable. I mean, it just kind of goes to show, like, going into a season, the bullpen is never solidified. It's never going to be exactly what you think it is, right? Like, injuries and poor performance are just like commonplace in the bullpen. They're such fluid, the most fluid part of the baseball team, basically. And yeah, Ryan Presley lost the job. Daniel Palencia slotted in and has taken that role and has looked fantastic and capable of doing it. And Thielbar and Keller has resurrected his career. I mean, Brad Keller looked dead, bro. Like, as a player, he looked like he was not going to, make it that much longer. This was like his last chance, and he's taken it and ran. His velo is up like 3 ticks since last year. It's wild. I don't understand it. Tyler Zombro is a genius. Maybe that's the answer. I don't know. But yeah, like Cabrera, Pomeranz, Flexen has a 0 ERA as well. They just have done such a good job at acquiring these players mid-season and just transforming them. It's been awesome, man. And we haven't even seen the best of Ryan Brazier yet either. I think he's another guy who could be like a setup man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's true. I really like that acquisition when they made it, and I do agree with you. I think he could be kind of worked into that setup type of role. But yeah, it's at this point, it's proven track record now for the Cubs being able to turn these guys over into leverage relievers. And I'm not, I don't want to say that. There is a caveat to that where it's like, hey, would you really just like a proven vet or proven guy from another team that's already proven himself and, spend the money on it or trade for it? Yeah, of course you would. And I would still like them to add on another edition here at the deadline or whenever. But like, we look at it now and I'm seeing people like say things where it's like they want them to make a deal now. And I just think the Cubs are buying themselves so much time to not even need to do that. Like, it's going to cost more if you try to trade for a high leverage arm or a starting pitcher at this point, right? We're going to get to the rotation too in a little bit. But if you do that now, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg, and it's still going to cost you an arm at the deadline, or a prospect bat. Just bear with me. But
You're killing it.
Right. I don't think you need to do that now. You've bought yourself time. It's like Shota. You don't need to rush that man back here right now yet because you're still winning series.
Yeah.
Would I love to have Shota back right now for this series in particular, right? This one and then the Phillies series coming up, or the Tigers and Phillies? Absolutely. No need to rush that man. He just threw a bullpen the other day, a couple innings, didn't throw too much. But that's what I like, Rich. That's what I like out of the whole situation.
Yeah, and not to just keep harping on the bullpen, but like the starting rotation has gone through like the most injuries, right? And has been tested depth-wise the most, I feel like, out of all areas of the team. And they're kind of using the bullpen to prop that up, mostly with Drew Pomeranz as the opener, which has worked out remarkably well. He's done it twice already, right? Twice, maybe 3 times. I don't know. Twice. Both times it's worked, right? Ben Brown was coming off of a stretch of like bad starts. Pomeranz opened for him against the Reds last weekend, and then Ben Brown fires 6 innings and strikes out 9. Similar situation today. Colin Ray wasn't as sharp as that, but Pomeranz opened the game, got through those first 3 hitters, and then he makes it into his 6th inning. So the bullpen, they're kind of using that, leaning on that right now while they wait for Shota and maybe Javier Assad to come back. Shota obviously will be back sooner, hopefully. And yeah, man, that's just a nice part of the team right now that they have that ability to do that, because and they were fortunate that it happened. Like we said this before, but they were fortunate that those injuries hit the team when they did, when they went through that soft stretch of the schedule. But now you're getting into the tougher part of the schedule, right? It's not as easy as it was facing the White Sox and the the Marlins and stuff. Now you're going to Detroit and Philly, where 2 of the best teams in baseball, and yeah, they're gonna need Shota back sooner rather than later. It's you would like that, right? But it's still, things have been working out, and then tomorrow you got Ben Brown on the mound. Hopefully he can turn it around and keep his hot streak going, because you're facing the reigning Cy Young winner tomorrow.
God, good Lord. Yeah, Tariq Skubal's no joke, man, obviously. But yeah, Ben Brown was really good last time. 6 innings, 1 hit. What was that, like 9 Ks, something like that. But I don't want to sidetrack us too much, but I did have a thought this last time that they did that. Not this game in particular, but it's something that's been on my mind. Like when Pomeranz was opening for Ben Brown the last time, what is it? So like Pomeranz is announced right the night before. So lineups aren't even out until a couple hours before the game, 3 hours before the game, if whatever. But like that conversation of openers, like just league wide throughout baseball, it's not that I disagree with it at all. I think it works. It's working for the Cubs, clearly. I think it works in certain situations. But my question is, what is stopping opposing managers who are making out a lineup from switching what their lineup is when you have an opener go out there like a Pomeranz who's facing maybe 2 lefties, 3 lefties within the first 4 hitters, switching those guys and moving them down to like the 4, 5, 6 or 5, 7. I think the only thing probably in my opinion is I get that you want to get them the most at bats in a game, but strategically, like if your manager that's throwing out the opener believes that there's that much more of an advantage to use an opener and then come in with like a long reliever or primary starter, right? Then what's to say that advantage is not also on the other end for adjusting your lineup where your 1 through 4 now becomes your 4 through 7 or something along those lines, right? Like I'm kind of curious, like I kind of want to know what your thoughts are on that. Like, is that something we might see an adjustment throughout baseball or something?
I'm not sure because I think the calculation that teams probably make is like either way, we want our best hitters to have the most opportunities in a game. And if a team is going to use an opener, then we're just going to try to do the same approach. We're going to try to, just have the best hitters at the top. And if the opener mows them down, then they do. Or if we get to the opener and we score runs against them, then we will. I don't think, at least I wouldn't like if I have the Cubs lineup, right, it would be weird to me to like if we were facing an opener and then like slot Kyle Tucker in the 5 hole or something, right? It just doesn't
It looks crazy. I
it looks
understand that.
crazy, yeah, but like, and I think it's more
But
of
so
that
did
than
using an opener look crazy when they first started doing it, right?
it's true. It's very true. But then if you think about it this way too, it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. Because then you're just like putting your worst hitters against the opener or less good hitters against the opener. And then it's like, okay, well, the opener gets through the inning without giving up any runs. And then the starter has to face the better hitters. And then theoretically, your better hitters get to the starter quicker. I don't know. I see what you're
That's what that
saying.
manager didn't want, though, right?
Right. I see what you're saying. Maybe we will see teams do that at some point.
I don't know. I think it's just an interesting.
It is a weird dynamic, the opener. It just
It's
like throws a fun wrench into the game. And I
You
remember
never
when it
see it though. You never see them do that, and that's why I'm
no,
like, are we going to like? Who has anyone thought of this? Like,
I'm sure they will at some point. Because like the opener, I don't know, when did the Rays start doing it? They were the first team to do it, right? It was like 6 or 7 years ago or something like that.
they
Maybe
were
it's
the team
time
that did it like the most. I think I want to say, yeah, you're right though. They did it like they
around there,
started.
right? Like the late teens or something. Um, and maybe not enough time has gone by where teams are comfortable enough to do that.
It could be.
Because here's the other thing that you could do, right? Like, what if they just late scratch the opener and then have the starter go back in there?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know what
know.
the rules are on like how soon that could happen, and then if you scratch the guy, can you not use him in the game? Like, I don't know.
You're talking about before the game?
Yeah, like say you got
Yeah,
the opener, and then the team does that with their lineup where they slot their better hitters lower, and then what if
they
the
just
team
keep they
scratches
just
the
keep switching
opener?
lineups.
Yeah, they just keep switching the opener and the starter and the lineups and stuff. Where
That'd
does it
be
end?
that would be wild though if they were just like in a lineup war. Like they just keep turning over their lineup card to the umpire or to the official scorers, and like it's.
It seems like some shit that Joe Madden would do, you know? You know?
I would, and yeah, and who would be? No one would blink an eye if he did it.
Yeah. God, the
It
good
would
old
probably
days.
work. Yeah, dude, I love it. Anyways, didn't want to take us off the beaten path here too far, but we do have some comments here. 500 career RBIs for Ian Happ. So along with PCA, Ian Happ with an absolute monster night tonight. I believe he had 3 hits. He had the big home run tonight. Let's see what his scorebook looks like. Yeah, 3 for 6, a double, a 2-run ding dong, a single, 4 RBI night for Ian Happ. I mean,
Much
I
needed game for Ian Happ tonight.
big time, big time. And
Yeah.
I just want to say, I was never worried about Ian Happ. And I want to put that out there because there have been a lot of people that have been saying, one, he needs to slug more, which, yes, he does. But two, what is wrong with Ian Happ? Well, for one, he's a slow starter. He's been a slow starter throughout his career for the most part. I believe, I actually chimed in on one of the live shows here that the guys were doing. And I don't know, maybe you were on that one, Rich. I don't remember, but they were talking about it. And I even looked up his stats, the same number of at bats basically as the year before. And he had one more home run, I think, this year than he had last year, or maybe one less or something like that, like about the same exact from where they were at the year prior. And so anytime you suffer some sort of injury, too, it's going to set you back a little bit. So, like, not only is he just a slow starter to begin with, but getting his bearings back, finding his swing again from coming off the injury, I think is a big thing. And I think also, yeah, he wasn't out of the lineup long, but Kyle Tucker is probably going through something similar as well with the jammed finger. Now, is he 100% healthy? I don't know. I just want to put it out there, though. We need to stop worrying about the main guys. Stop, please, because the Seiya Suzuki talk when he started the season slow. Like, where is he? Like, up among the league leaders in RBIs and hitting a bunch of bombs, and like there's nothing to worry about with him. Dansby Swanson started the season slow. Then he went through a hot stretch. Now he's kind of cooled down a little bit now, but I guarantee you he's probably going to find another hot streak at some point. Like, he's just kind of an up and down hitter. Like, the guys I don't worry about at all in this lineup, Dansby's not necessarily one that I don't worry about at all, but Ian Happ, Kyle Tucker, and now I would say, well, Nico Horner. Now I would even put, and we'll say a Suzuki. See, you just got to keep going. But now I would even say PCA and Michael Busch are two guys I don't even worry about now from a like struggle standpoint. Are you kind of there with Ian Happ, or did you need to see this like tonight and be like, okay, like he's back?
Yeah, I am there because it's almost as if it's a 162 game season and every player is going to go through cold stretches and hot stretches.
Yes.
Was it like a brutal stretch for Ian Happ? I wouldn't even call it brutal because he was still taking walks and he was
Right.
still seeing a lot of pitches, which is basically his job as the leadoff man, right? Ideally, do you want him to slug? For sure. You want everybody in your lineup to slug if they can. But he was still doing his job. He was still getting on base. He's walking at a 12.1 rate, 30 walks already on the season. And we're like about a third the way through. So he's already on pace to like crack more than he had last year, which was 80. Striking out at a 21.5% rate, which is not bad at all. He's doing his job still. You know, was it rough? Like that first week after he came back from the oblique injury was like annoying because it looked like he needed to go on a rehab like assignment for a couple games to get his swing timing back.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's one thing they really could have done. Yes,
for sure. But the other thing here is like the Cubs all of a sudden now have a lot of sluggers in the lineup, like Kyle Tucker and PCA. Swanson has been doing a lot of slugging. Suzuki, like guys have taken major steps forward in that department. And then you added Kyle Tucker. So like you don't need Ian Happ to be the 25 to 30 home run guy that we always wanted him to be. Do you, if he gets there, are you going to be happy with it? Absolutely. But like, is it essential? Probably not.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the base level, you want him to see a lot of pitches and take walks, and he was still doing that in this cold stretch.
I'm with you there, though. You don't really need him to be that guy, but what he did tonight, and I'm not saying that he's going to go on a complete tear from here. I do believe he will go on a little bit of a heater,
Mhm.
but 405 feet,
Yeah, that
like
was no cheap one. He
like
cranked that ball.
it's not like he lost his power.
Right.
Like, like he still has it in the tank. Is like basically that's the thing I think that we can take away from this is like, all right, when he gets into one, if he sees a pitch he can drive and it's the situation is there for him to do it or whatever, he's still more than capable of doing it. But it's exactly what you said, Rich. He doesn't have to be that guy in this lineup and getting on base and doing those things. Like he is the table setter. Like,
Yeah.
I would love for him to be a table setter plus a Kyle Schwarber,
Yeah.
but
Who wouldn't?
right. But he doesn't that's never really been Ian Happ. Like that 20 to 25 home run sweet spot range to end the season
Yeah.
is more than enough. Like I'm totally okay with that. So I
I
was
feel
very
like
happy to see that tonight.
I feel like for the first like 2 to 3 years of his major league career, myself and I'm sure a lot of other Cubs fans wanted him to be like a 30 plus home run kind of guy. Uh, and maybe he could be, but I think his strength is seeing a lot of pitches and taking walks. And that's why he's a good leadoff man. He's a solid base runner. So when he gets on base, like that's just his job. That's what he's good at. And I think he excels in that. Is he going to run into a home run every now and then? Yeah, man. He had 25 home runs last year, too, while doing that, while taking 80 walks. So, yeah. Ian Happ is like the perfect example of like he's not the sexiest baseball player to watch, but he's just a good player. He's a good baseball player.
He's just a good exactly. He's not a star, and
Yeah.
that's why you get those stars around him. And wow, watch the lineup go. Like
Mhm.
there's not a moment in the game where I'm like, oh no, Ian Happ's up to bat. But there's also not a moment in the game where I'm like, oh fuck, the other team's in danger. Ian Happ's up to bat. But that's fine. Like he does what he still poses that threat though, too, of like, yeah, no, he can still do serious damage when he needs to. Um, but also, too, I want to bring up a guy here who's mentioned in the comments by Stole It Breezing, who says Shaw 1.1 WAR in 32 games. Shaw looked good tonight, like 3 for 5. He's looked good since returning, but 3 for 5, 3 singles, 2 runs, 2 stolen bases too for Matt Shaw. Um, what a pleasant, I guess, emergence of
Yeah.
Matt Shaw. Like that's another thing is like this is a spot you didn't know what you were going to get from, and you were very worried about just a month ago.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think the most concerning part for me was the defense. And oh my God, has he looked incredible on defense? He's made like 4 or 5 spectacular stops at third base in the last like 2 weeks. Balls where it's like there's a couple of them where they're like screaming ground balls that take like a last minute hop, and he's still, that last minute adjustment where he puts the glove up. Like it's incredible. He's made some awesome plays,
Dude,
and his
blocking
arm is
everything.
his arm is great too. Like everybody's always like dragging on his arm, and I'm like, he's making he's making it on the fly most of the time. Like his
He
arm.
looks like the Cubs on Tap Twitter account.
Explain.
Just very good at defense. They don't let anything get by him. That's all I'm gonna say. But no, I also would like to address this from Scott from Iowa. Sweet new T-shirt. Listen, man, we love everybody. Like that's the whole thing. Like we here at Cubs on Tap, like we respect everybody. We try to be respectful to everybody. We support everybody, and we're working things out. With whatever's going on. Like I think that's the main thing, though, is like we're all here to just talk about the Cubs, right? or have Cubs content, or whatever it is that you do within the Cubs world. Like, I think that's what makes this fan base so special, is that we've all suffered for so long before that final. Like, if you've been a Cubs fan for, I don't want to say as long as I have, like, Rich, I know you're younger than me, but even as long as you have, or like however long it is, like,
It's in my
you've
genes. I inherited it.
that's exactly it though. Most people do, because who would ever like take on this sickness
Yeah.
like willingly? But no, like, that's the whole thing. I just wanted to, I was kind of just joking around there to begin with, but I do think that there's so many good people out there that are within the Cubs community, that it's awesome. We appreciate everyone that joins us here, that reads the articles. As my dad is blowing up my phone, if you can hear the vibration, he's worried that I'm not going to stop by after this. I'm coming, Dad. Don't worry. But he's like, did he fall asleep? I know that's what he's thinking right now. But no, basically what I'm saying is there's so many good people out there, and we love and appreciate all of you and try to support you as much as we can. So that's pretty much, I'll just leave it there. But yeah, Rich, like you were saying, Matt Shaw's defense, dude, like, incredible. It's not just been like good enough to get the job done. It's been, this dude's playing like very good high level defense at third base, and that's really impressive.
He's making more than just the average plays, than just the routine plays. Which is more than I can ask for, right? And also giving you good speed on the base paths. I think he's got like 7, I want to say, stolen bases so far. Like 6 doubles since he came back from AAA. I mean, he's hitting well. He's hitting for contact, and having another dude down there, 3 hits again tonight. Having another guy down there who can just give you a quality at bat. Because like Hap, before he went to AAA, he was seeing a lot of pitches too. He was taking walks. He just wasn't hitting that well. So he can give you like a solid major league at bat. If he can hit and just play defense like he is, like, that just lengthens the lineup so much, and just
Big time.
adds, it just completes the team, because they already have Gold Glove defense at like almost every position. And then having him at the hot corner playing the way he is, man, the Cubs defense is disgusting, and the lineup just gets lengthened even more than it already is. And it's they feel complete right now. They have all the Infinity Gauntlets.
Dude, anytime I hear disgusting in a baseball sense,
That's a word you want to hear.
oh,
Filthy,
disgusting.
nasty.
Oh, yuck. That's exactly what I want. Like, I want to be like halfway throwing up for baseball. Nah, man, I totally agree with you. And I want to say even one of his outs tonight was like a hard hit,
Yeah.
Like PCA had one to right field too that could have easily been a hit that was just murdered.
I was only listening to the game for like the first 5 innings. So I don't know what he did tonight exactly, but I feel like a lot of Matt Shaw's hits, like the majority of them, are to the opposite field as well, which is impressive.
Yeah, he had. I mean, I know he had 1 or 2 to the left tonight. But you're right. He stays on the ball. Like, since his return, especially, he's been staying on the ball and making sure that he just lets it carry and just takes it where it's at. And yeah, he's got enough power to be able to hit those gaps. And even though he's not hitting a bunch of bombs yet, and I think that's going to come though. Like, he does have the strength. So that's another thing. Like, what happens when he starts hitting homers?
You're looking at another guy who is just taking his game to the next level if he can get there, right? Like PCA is doing this year. I don't think anybody was expecting PCA to have like 16 home runs at the beginning of June, right? I did not think he was going to have this kind of power. If Matt Shaw can tap into anything remotely close to that, you have two very good ball players who are young and will be on your team for years to come, which is can't ask for much better than that. I mean, that's what you want, right?
It's
That's what you
disgusting.
need. That's disgusting. It's nasty. Still, resign Kyle Tucker though. What the fuck?
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's the one.
I saw
Yeah.
Tom Ricketts at the Cubs game last week. I think it was on
Oh
Sunday.
Lord.
I walked past him. First of all, didn't realize how tall Tom Ricketts is. Tom Ricketts is like 6'3". that part was like a little bit jarring to me.
He
That was the
doesn't
first
look
time.
like that on TV or
He does
anything.
not. And that was the first time I was that close to him. Like I literally brushed past him. I was coming out of the bathroom and I was like, is that Tom Ricketts? And then I heard some dude yell, "Sign Tucker!" And I was like, yeah, that's Tom Ricketts.
Just giving it to him right away.
Yeah.
It's like I can't even enjoy my piss, dude.
Dude.
Like, well,
Hilarious.
yeah.
He wasn't even going to he was like speed walking out of the stadium.
Oh yeah, he was trying to get away. He probably heard it for who knows how many times he heard it before that.
5 innings worth of people yelling at him to sign Kyle Tucker, probably.
I mean,
And
I'm right
PCA.
there with all those people. Yeah. The PCA thing is like, do I want them to do it? Yeah. Do they need to do it now? No, we can relax a little.
It's less pressing, right?
Yeah.
I don't get that vibe from a lot of people on Cubs Twitter. Shocking, right? Like people on Cubs Twitter are being unreasonable. Man, that's weird. But like,
Never seen that before.
it's obvious to me, it's more pressing to deal with Kyle Tucker's contract situation than PCA,
100%.
who is under team control for what, 5 more years or something.
100%. But Rich, we do have some other topics that we want to get into tonight before we head on out of here. One thing that I don't know we mentioned yet, but along with the guys that we highlighted, every single Cub in the lineup tonight had a hit. Like, even, I mean, Reese McGuire. I mean, every single Cub had a hit tonight. So the parade, obviously, that led to 7 runs, and it probably really could have been more runs. I think they squandered some opportunities in there that this could have been like a 14-run game.
For sure.
Which, I'm not complaining. They got the job done, but thought that was worth mentioning for sure. The other thing, like you said, Colin Ray got some help with the defense. The Kyle Tucker assist was really a great job by Dansby staying with in diving with the runner and applying the tag when his hand came off. But, we'll take that one for sure.
Yeah.
It was still a good throw. The other one, another good throw by Happ. These weren't bad throws by Tucker or Happ, but Nico Horner, an incredible diving tag, and to get the runner sliding in. Then we almost got all outfielders getting an assist because one was banged off the wall, and PCA threw an absolute rope to second base, which Nico wasn't quite able to. He tried to dive back and make the tag.
Another close play, though.
Oh my God! And that was that was a missile from PCA too.
That would have been sick if the Cubs outfield had a hat trick of outfield assists tonight, though. Oh man,
I don't know. I don't remember the last time I've seen that. Like, not just from the Cubs, but like anywhere. Have you seen that recently?
I don't think I've seen that ever. That's pretty rare, I feel like. But yeah, man, it just goes to the point. Like the Cubs defense is gross. They are so good. They literally have Gold Glovers all over the place. Like PCA is probably going to win the Gold Glove this year. I would be shocked if he didn't. Ian Happ is like 3-time Gold Glover. I mean, just because a lot of the left fielders in the NL Central or the NL are not that great, but like still, he's winning Gold Gloves. You have to be at least
out there.
Yeah, pretty good to win them. Tucker has won one. I feel like he's probably the, I don't know, quote unquote worst defender, maybe.
Agreed.
But
better than Seiya, but still the worst out of the starters, definitely.
Yeah, still a good defender, average to good. And then Swanson and Horner, everybody knows, like that's one of the best middle infields in baseball. Shaw, we talked about. Bush is taking a huge step forward on his defense and looks like he can be a Gold Glove caliber player. Like, that's literally all over the diamond. It's crazy. That wins you ball games, man. That and combined with the new speed aspect of this team, they're focusing on base running and stealing bags. Like, that's how you win on the margins. Like, they always talked about winning on the margins, but they didn't have the right players to do it. Now they have the right players to do it, and it's coming together, and it's been awesome.
Well, you look at this team in comparison to, I'm just going to do it, the 2016 team.
Wait, you're going to compare a Cubs team to the 2016 team?
Oh my God, we've never done that before.
What
ever.
is wrong with you, bro?
Yeah, I know.
Nobody's ever done this.
I know. It's a hot take. All right, Rich, bear with me.
I'm with you.
So it's not even really a comparison, but I'm just looking at the different characteristics of each team, right? Like that team, they won a lot of games because of the long ball, but also in getting on base and the defense. But that's the thing. Their defense was really good. But how many actual Gold Glovers did they have on that 2016 defense? Nowhere near where this team possibly could be in the Gold Glove department. Like this defense here, I would say, just if we're comparing, this defense here is better than the 2016 defense. Just defense. Like
yes.
I think when you factor in Matt Shaw, you factor in Michael Bush, who, yes, might have had a blunder the other night, but he's been really good over there. Defensively behind the plate, there's times where that's not always as strong, but it's not terrible. If that's your weakest position behind the plate, I'm not saying it's a good thing because that's a very important position, but it's not like it's been horrible. This team is like this defense is, they save them games. They win them games.
Yeah,
it does.
The only one off the top of my head that I can think of that's like hands down better is Jason Hayward.
Sure, yeah.
Which is obvious because he was like one of the best right fielders ever for the longest time. Maybe Rizzo.
I was gonna say Riz
better than Bush, but like Bush is making the case, like he's getting better. I feel like as time goes on, is he at the point where Rizzo was? No, because Rizzo was how many Gold Gloves? Like 2 or 3 Gold Gloves, maybe. Other than that, like Swanson, definitely better than Addison Russell at shortstop. PCA, miles better than Dexter Fowler in center field.
Yeah, dude,
left field
glides to the ball. He's so smooth out there.
Ian Happ and Ben Zobrist, I don't know.
Happ.
Yeah.
Happ, I think Ben was just solid.
Yeah. He was solid everywhere.
Yeah, he was solid everywhere. But he didn't have the outfield assists like Happ can at times.
Yeah. Didn't have the arm, but like he was only the left fielder for like half the season, right? He was a second baseman for a while. Yeah. I don't know. Nico's probably a better second baseman than Ben Zobrist, I would say.
And better than Javi. I think Javi was a flashy defender, still is. I think the consistency, it was like that was where I think Nico edges out Javi, is the consistency.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I also do think that Shaw, what he's shown is like Bryant was solid at third and left, wherever you had him. But I think he has a higher ceiling defensively than KB too.
And I think that's part of it is like mobility. He's definitely more mobile than Bryant. I feel like Bryant's strength was like his length and his arm was really strong. Shaw's arm is not as strong as Bryant's was, but I feel like Shaw can get to the ball better and has a quicker release, which makes up for it. Which in the long run is probably, like to your point, has a higher ceiling.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, I agree with that. The other thing too is, and I wasn't just trying to bring this up back to like 2016, because honestly,
that was fun. I love doing that,
but it was fun, right? Like it's a different way of looking at things.
Yeah,
it's not just like focusing on as the team as a whole, because we don't know how the season's going to turn out. We truly don't. But Rich, still, 2 out of 3 over the Nats. You know, they are the better team than the Nats, so it's like kind of what you expect. But they came into this series having to face Mackenzie Gore. They dropped that game, of course. So to be able to pull out these other 2 games when Jake Irvin he's thrown a lot of innings for the Nats and been pretty solid for them. I think it was important, especially with what's on tap for the Cubs. And
Yeah.
before we look at what's on tap, do you have any final thoughts about tonight's game and the series as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, Washington's not a pushover team. Like they're pretty close to 500. Of like the quote unquote bad teams that the Cubs have faced in the last couple weeks, the Marlins and the Rockies. The Nationals are the best of those teams, the White Sox. And they're almost 500. They have a lot more talent than those teams did. So it's not like they were just like cakewalking into another sweep here. You know, they had to get it done, and they did. Mackenzie Gore obviously mowed them down, but I feel like they still had a chance to win that game too. It was only a 2-0 loss, right? If they had like just gotten something in the first inning yesterday, I feel like they could have had a chance.
Yeah. Nick
Missed
was right about
opportunity.
that. They
Yeah,
lost the game in the first inning.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. They just let Gore get into a groove, and it was downhill from there. But needed 2 out of 3. You got 2 out of 3. Like I said earlier, you got momentum going into the School Bowl game tomorrow, which is gonna be tough. It's not gonna be easy, but you know, hopefully they can sneak another 2 out of 3 against Detroit, who somehow has the best record in baseball this year. Which
Wild,
is crazy.
man.
Very crazy. Was not expecting that when we went into the season.
Neither was I. I thought they'd be improved.
Yeah.
Best record in baseball? No, but who would have thought that the Cubs would be up there, one of the best records in baseball, even as Cubs purists and diehards? I
That's
didn't think
true.
that.
I mean, that's the beauty of baseball. You never know what's going to happen.
It's awesome, man. I want to read this tweet or this. Is it an X post? What do they call it now? Bruce Levine said Cubs complete 21 game stretch of games with teams under 500, which speaks to your point. 16-5, 2 sweeps versus the Sox and the Rockies. They have won 7 straight series, which we've already mentioned, but 16-5 over that 21 game stretch. That's taking care of business. That is taking care of business. You know, they've proven they can beat the good teams. They've proven that they're not going to roll over and play down to their competition against the bad teams, even when they might be close games. Like, you know, the Rockies series, that was like pulling teeth, even though they swept them. Like,
Yeah.
that was a very weird sweep. Like, even the Red series was at times kind of like they've had some close calls throughout this, and they've still that's the mark of a good team to me, Rich, is like even if you're going to play these close games, which all teams are, you're pulling them out. And that I think is a big difference. But with this team compared to last year, compared to 2023, when they've had decent rosters, but just not the experience yet, I think it takes to get over that hump when you're playing those games. And I think that's huge.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the offense has been a big part of it, obviously, but that sweep in Colorado, the bullpen did a huge favor to the team. You know, I mean, it just goes back to what we were talking about earlier. I mean, the bullpen solidifying this early in the season is something that we haven't seen the Cubs do in the last couple of years. Like usually it's taking them like the first 3 months to figure out who's going to be your 8th inning guy, your 7th inning guy, your closer. Like it's all coming together a lot earlier this year. And I think the depth and the pitching development and the infrastructure itself and like adding guys like Tyler Zombro to like help scout and like coach up guys like that has done wonders. Like investing in those areas has, you know, you're seeing it right now with the bullpen, you know, best bullpen in baseball over the last, 5 weeks, month, whatever it is. That helps in those close games against even those bad teams, but That is what got them that sweep in Colorado, and it has gotten them so many wins this year in those tight ball games, which they were dropping last year. So that coming together early has been, paying dividends in the win column.
Big time. It does make me a little nervous as to like, okay, they can't do this forever with the bullpen. But cross that bridge when we get there. You got to take the good with the bad, and a lot more good right now than bad. So that's always what we're looking for. But Rich, what's on tap? Like you said, we have the Tigers tomorrow, 6:10 start time in Detroit. Tarik Skubal, the reigning AL Cy Young Award winner, will be pitching for the Tigers. And this one is on Apple TV. The Cubs going to send out Ben Brown. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully he can build on his last outing where he came out of the pen and threw really fantastic after that. About 6 innings there. So, but Skubal, Apple TV Friday night. And then you got Taillon versus Kiter Montero, 12:10 start on Saturday. And then finally on Sunday, wrapping up the series, Cade Horton versus Jack Flaherty at 12:40 Central Sunday start. Tigers tonight, they just lost, or today they lost to the Sox in 10 innings. We know we're going to see some familiar faces. Javi Baez, he has hit in 5 straight games now after really he cooled off for a while there. He went through a 14-game stretch where he was hitting 143 with 1 homer before Sunday's game against the Royals, and now he's starting to pick it up again because he really has had a turnaround season this year with the Tigers overall. Other familiar faces, we've got Zach McKinstry and Gleyber Torres, both guys not really slugging a ton, but nonetheless having really good seasons otherwise. Skubal, like we said, Friday, that 4-seamer, he can really crank it up there with the heat. That changeup is nasty. It's going to be a challenge for the Cubs. He's got the sinker, the slider. He's really got a full package arsenal. My question to you, I got 2 questions, Rich. One, what do you expect the Cubs to do this series? And is Michael Busch in the lineup against Tarik Skubal tomorrow?
Ooh, interesting. I think they have a good shot of taking 2 out of 3. I think the last 2 games, better chance of winning than tomorrow's game. Skubal's just going to be tough, man. He is coming off the Cy Young season and is somehow better this year. It's crazy. He already has 100 strikeouts. I think it was like a week ago or a week and a half ago. He finished a complete game with 103 mile an hour pitch. It's just gross. Like that is like he is one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. It's just hands down. I don't think Michael Busch will be starting. If he is, he'll be like in the 7 or 8 hole like he was against Mackenzie Gore. Like people, I see where Counsell is coming from on that front because he is batting like 140 against left-handers. On the other side, I see the other side of the argument too. It's like, well, is he ever going to get better if you just sit him every time,
Right.
And you're giving up your near Gold Glove defense at first base too for Justin Turner. So I don't know. Maybe you should just start him and just deal with it, right? Because everybody else in the lineup is doing well, right? So I think he should start. Will he? It's a toss-up because I don't know. He didn't look good against Mackenzie Gore. I don't think he got any hits in that game. So
he had one.
He had one. Was it off?
I don't know if it was. I don't remember if it was off of Gore or not, but I know he had one of the Cubs like 5 hits in that game. Nobody had a hit really.
Yeah, everybody was getting mowed down by Gore anyway. So,
which is probably going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah, unfortunately, but at least we'll get to see a really good pitcher. I don't know. That's still fun. I like watching good pitching.
No, I agree. I should. We're going to be entertained, and like, I threw in there to the chat. It sounds like me and Nick are probably like I'd say about 70% chance that we do a show tomorrow. So, and Rich, if you can join us, whoever can join us tomorrow, we should be on here. But, that's the thing. Win or lose tomorrow, if they get dominated, we'll have something fun to talk about because Scooble is that fun. He's disgusting in a good sense, the baseball sense. And that's always good to watch. So, I don't know what to expect this series, man. I don't know about Bush either in the lineup. That is, like you said, it's kind of anyone's guess. I think I'll lean no. He's probably not in the lineup tomorrow. Just because that's the tendency right now of Council is to not have him out there against most lefties. But I wouldn't hate it if he was, because if they're going to lose, I mean, either they're going to get blown out because Ben Brown's going to have a terrible outing, or they're going to lose a close game. And in either case, it's probably not because of Michael Bush. It's probably because of the rest of the lineup couldn't do much, or whatever the case may be. So
I really hope they just prove us wrong and just score like 6 runs off Scooble tomorrow.
Dude, just like, remember that inning they had against Skeens? Where they just went off. Yeah, I hope we get one of those.
Yeah, the Cubs have always kind of hit Skeens good, I feel like. And remember, he made his major league debut against the Cubs, and like Miles Mastrobuoni got 2 hits off of him, and Nico Horner hit a home run off of him. That was insane. I'll always remember that because I'm like, man, Nico Horner hit a home run off of Paul Skeens in his MLB debut. That's
doesn't hit homers against really anybody, but does it off of Skeens.
So weird. And then Mastrobuoni got 2 hits off of him.
Yeah, that was a little Master Boner of all people.
Yeah. Sorry to give you the PTSD of Miles Mastrobuoni.
Hey man, he's a Paisan through and through. So I gotta support. I told you we support all Cubs people. He's not a Cub anymore, so we can go back to not liking him. But once a Cub, always a Cub. It's kind of how I look at it, unless you're a piece of shit. So he wasn't really a piece of shit. He just wasn't that good of a ball player. That's all right. I understand.
He's a bench guy.
He's a bench guy. The thing about Detroit, though, Rich, is they will strike out, especially versus right-handed pitching. Third highest K rate in the majors versus right-handed pitching. And that's exactly what they're going to run out there all 3 of these games with Ben Brown, who's got the strikeout stuff, Tyon, and then Cade Horton, who we really haven't seen the strikeout stuff yet from him that much. He's got the stuff. We just haven't seen too many Ks yet. And maybe that's something that comes on Sunday. Also, if this turns out to be a small ball contest, the Cubs can steal bases. And I do like what Stolert Breezing said here earlier. Cubs base running A+, not just steals, but beating out double plays, singles to doubles, first to third. I completely agree. But the Cubs in the stolen base department alone, they've got 82 steals now after Shaw's couple of bags that he swiped tonight. And then the Tigers are dead last this year with 22 stolen bases. So you don't really want to get in a running match here with the Cubs if you're the Tigers, especially in a close game. I think that's where the Cubs could really pull out the advantage, especially if they're making more contact than the Tigers when it comes to striking out and not striking out. So that could really play a factor, I think, in this series. And I want to say also the bullpen. The bullpen's been pretty good for the Tigers this year, but like we said, since May, the Cubs, since it turned May 1st, the Cubs being the first in ERA, the Tigers kind of middle of the road. They're like 13th in ERA for the bullpen. So another like small thing to look at. That's about all I got, man. What do you think they can do it? Can they get 8 straight series wins here against the Tigers?
I think if any team can do it, this Cubs team can, man. They got the magic. They got it, man. They got the power. They got the speed.
Let's go.
I don't know, man. They got the run differential. They got the run scoring. They got the home runs. They got the stolen bases. They got it all, man. They got the defense. They can do it. They can. We just need some good starting pitching from our boys, and I think we can do it.
Let's go. I'm hoping so. I do love that, though. We got the power. We got the speed. I want to address some comments here before we check out. Darren says, quality at bats, eat some pitches, work walks, and try to get the pitch count in the high 80s in the 6th inning. I like that. And why not sooner than that, too? Let's get them out of there in like the 5th. Stolet says, Cubs lefties are critical to this series. Tigers have some hitters with big splits. Carpenter versus lefties. Okay, well, keep an eye on that too. I like that. I like that shout out. Darren also said, I agree about Bush starting all games, but he would give us a left-handed bat with pop to pinch hit in the late innings. That's a good point. I think that could play a difference here as you're playing, against their bullpen, who's hasn't been quite as sharp as it started out this season. So possibly. And he says for tomorrow, I mean, yeah, of course, against the lefty. I know what you mean with Scooble. So, yeah, Rich, what a day. Cubs dub, another series dub. I'm over here cracking. I only had 2, so I can't say. It's Thirsty Thursday, but I'm not going to go overboard. I still got to wake up tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Any final thoughts before we go ahead and wrap this thing up and see you guys all tomorrow?
Let's get 8 series wins in a row. Keep the winning going. Keep the momentum going. Step on the Cardinals' throats and the Brewers' throats. Cardinals are fugazi anyway. Like we all know this. They're not going anywhere on the backs of Wilson Contreras and Lars Nootbaar and Brendan Donovan. Let's stop fucking around here. Fuck the Cardinals, and fuck the Brewers, and fuck the Tigers, I guess, too.
Hey, why do you got to give Wilson Contreras shade? I don't support that, Rich.
I love the guy, but they just don't have the offense. I don't buy this offense. It's not good. It's really not good.
I agree. But, some people are mad at Wilson still because of his comments when he left here, and he was just being salty. People say things they don't mean when they're salty, clearly.
Yeah. He's a feisty guy. It happens. It happens to all of us.
Happens to the best of us. Good news. Cardinals lost tonight. 7-5. But they did also win. So
yeah, they split a doubleheader.
Yeah, so, well, that's fine. No,
they're 5 games back. I like that. I like keeping them at least 5 games back. That's good.
I want to keep them all the way. Like, let's kick them down about 8.
And they have to go play the Dodgers this weekend. So have fun.
Have fun with the Fugazi Cardinal.
Have fun with Yamamoto on Saturday. See how Lars Nootbaar does against him.
Lars Nootbaar is not even a real person.
It's the most video game name I've ever heard in my life.
It's like I don't know. It's like a fake, like Fig Newton.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Lars Nootbaar.
Yeah,
it's like the off-brand.
It's like an off-brand candy bar name in like a TV show.
We should have our own TV show.
Yeah, and we can have our Lars Nootbaar company that we run.
Sponsored by
Lars Nootbaar, baby.
Lars Newton.
Lars Newton.
All right. With that said, you guys know where to find all of us at Cubbies on Tap on X. You can find Rich at Rich_EBS. Follow the rest of the guys as well. Follow me at Joey Knows Nothing. Follow the main account at On Tap Sportsnet. Check out all the content on YouTube, on the website at ontapsportsnet.com. And yeah, till next time, Rich, what do you say? We get on out of here the only way we know how to do every single time.
FTC, go Cubs, go, baby.
Yeah, I have nothing else. Go Cubs.